G'day, it's Joel Rasmussen from Southern Cross Combat, and ahead of his fight this weekend at Eternal, I'm talking to Mr. Darcy Vendy. Darcy, thank you very much for the time. How are we this morning?
Yeah, no, very well, very well. Thank you for yours. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. I appreciate you giving me the time, especially so close to the fight. As I mentioned, we're close to the fight. The hard work's done. What does kind of the rest before the fight look like for you?
Honestly, just watching TV at this point. Yeah, nah, it'll be. I'm literally getting a hairy today, and then just mulling the fuck out, and then yeah, wake up tomorrow morning. And that's about it. If you could call it a wake up, but yeah.
What are you going to be watching on TV?
I'm finishing off McMahon. That shit's tapped,
Oh,
bro. It's fucking dank. Hey, that
yeah,
shit's
man.
like good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
I
monster.
thought, I thought it was gonna be like, yeah, bro. No. So I dodged Monster because, like, I kind of just feel like when I watch that shit, it kind of like, I don't know. It's just like, bro, we're just talking about weight. This is like bringing me down a bit.
Mm.
And I thought it was gonna be the same with McMahon. Like, I was asking the boys, I was like, bro, is this just gonna be fucking like a 6 hour? I mean, like a 6 episode like long thing of all of the allegations and just being neg as fuck. But it's literally like it's just a wrestling doco. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
Sprinkled in with a little bit of being a terrible person.
Yeah, actual. You're gonna have some contrast.
Yeah. It's like, how far in are you? I don't want to say anything that spoils it.
I think I'm just finishing episode 5 now. So
Ah.
like he's just fucking come off of the back of it was all of like the women athletes and then it's like all about the family now. Yeah. Like in episode 5, it's like going through all of like his wife, daughter, and son. Yeah.
Okay, so you have seen that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So it's like, I run a wrestling business and I wanted to do incest with my daughter. And it's like, where did that come from?
It's fucking tapped. Projecting, clearly.
Weird guy. Weird guy.
No, he's fucking yeah, it's fucked.
but
outside of watching McMahon, you said you're getting a hairy. What are we going for the haircut?
Oh fuck! I don't even really know, to be honest. I'm leaving it up to my boy Javan. He's one of the fellas at TFC that fucking does all the other guys, and yeah, no, I just fucking was. This is actually going to be my first one with him, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to get it done with one of my people, you know?
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, we'll
maybe
see.
the
We'll see what
mohawk.
he reckons. Yeah, maybe.
So
Nah,
that's
fuck
possible.
no.
Oh, okay, maybe not a mohawk then. But you are fighting Mr. John Martin Fraser for the vacant Eternal title. You were already booked to fight him. Then, following the retirement of Ben Johnston, this match got upgraded essentially to a title fight. How did that happen from your end? How did you find out you were fighting for this title?
We were like kind of prospectively thinking it was going to happen beforehand anyway. Like a fair few weeks out, and then Benny let John know the situation just so he wasn't left out of the loop either. Fucking like, you know what I mean? Just going like, 2 weeks out, bro. It's 5 rounds now. That'd be a bit dog. So it was kind of more than anything, everybody was just sitting waiting in the wings to find out what was going on with Benny and the UFC. And yeah, from despite all of his best efforts, it kind of just seems like they're not interested at the current time. I think that'll change, honestly. But yeah, whatever. That's that. And yeah, it's led to us going for the title now.
So this fight wasn't originally 5 rounds. I thought because it was a main event, it might have been. But so this was originally a 3-round fight.
Yeah, no, it was a oh fuck, I'm not even sure. I'm pretty sure it was a 3-round fight. Yeah.
How, in that case, how was prepping for the extra 2 rounds on relatively short notice?
It is like, yeah, in all honesty, man, I've literally like never not prepped for fives. I like came to that conclusion back when I was at Shindo. That is kind of just like you like, what are you aiming for in the long run? You know what I mean? Like if you're going to be the UFC champion, you'd probably want your aerobic base to be ready for that, like long distance running from the very beginning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like guys like Alex Volkanovski doing back to back to back camps, like paint a really stark picture of why it matters to like never really be off. Everybody like talks about how ridiculous his cardio is and all of that. And it's just like, yeah, bro, he's just compound interesting off the last camp and not detraining in between because he's like a really not a fucking professional and like getting on the piss and fucking eating trash and letting his cardio go to shit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just kind of staying on all the time and always have been. Yeah.
We talked about it, just before, and you kind of touched on it. But Ben Johnston retired. He is a teammate of yours, coach of yours, if I'm not mistaken, at least. How did you kind of take it? You said maybe like you had kind of an inkling, maybe something would be happening. But what was the conversations like before he ended up announcing his retirement?
It like didn't really. I don't know. It wasn't really too big of a thing, to be honest. He was just kind of like, look, mate, like, this is how it's going to be. Like, if this is how it's going to end up being with the UFC, it's obviously going to fall on you for the title with John. I don't know. It doesn't really change anything logistically aside from, like, I've got the belt now. So, like, the UFC is going to be looking at me better. You know what I mean? Other than that, like, didn't really change anything. Like, the fight's the same. So, yeah.
Looking at Ben Johnston and his retirement and his career, kind of what do you make of his retirement and what do you make of Ben Johnston's career both as an MMA fighter and his past as a Muay Thai fighter?
Man, there's one other person I would compare this to. In Brenton Mumford. He's like the only other guy that I know that I've seen at least firsthand where I'm like, that guy is a fucking consummate professional when he's got a fight going. Literally does everything necessary, no stone unturned. And I feel like Ben is the second person that I've met that fits that bill and also has like a few extra things involved in the process of preparing that, puts it like it pays dividends clearly. Like he's literally just gone on like a absolute fucking tear in the course of what, like 2 years, pretty much knocked out, like not knocked out, but you know what I mean? Like knocked off every middleweight that matters in the division, in like one fell swoop. And if it just happened a little bit earlier, maybe it would be a completely fucking different story. There's a reason why I'm there training with him. Like he is the best middleweight. When I met him at Combat, I met him at a fight show, but yeah. When we trained together for the first time, I knew straight away that I was like, I'm going to be training with this guy. Yeah.
You were fighting
John Martin Fraser for the vacant title. What do you make of John Martin Fraser as a fighter?
I think he's really good. Yeah. He's got like a very, he's got a strong vector in his skill sets, fairly well rounded, but I just think he's really beatable. I think a lot of people like just kind of let him roll over them and let him just like go about his business. And yeah, I don't know, they just wilt under the pressure, and I just don't really think that's going to happen.
What aspects of him do you think are beatable?
Without giving too much away, I feel like he's one of those guys where like a Jose Aldo or a Sean O'Malley, if you like take away his A game, his B and C game are not really serviceable enough to get the job done. So yeah, leave it at that.
I feel you're in a very unique position where, as mentioned, like Ben Johnston has fought and beat John Martin Fraser in the past, and you obviously train with him, are coached by him. Has he let you in on any, not necessarily like secrets, but any advice, anything that he took away from his fight that he's imparted on you?
Oh yeah, every single day. Yeah, no, we're 4-hour training sessions every day of the week, fucking for however many weeks now, like since that fight. That's all we've been getting ready for. Yeah.
Is that odd? Because in most case scenarios, you won't necessarily be fighting someone that either a training partner, a coach, or someone you know has fought before. Whereas there is almost like a direct... Ben Johnston's last fight was the guy you are now fighting. Is that like strange at all?
No, not really. I am always like pretty what would the word be? Not oh no, yeah, probably pedantic. I'm pretty like pedantic, yeah, meticulous when it comes to game planning. Like I'll literally go through every bit of film from start to finish of somebody's career and like dissect it all and all of that jazz. But there is definitely something to be gained from having somebody that you like know and trust to be able to go like, this is how this feels. You know what I mean? Like it's very different seeing something like on a 2D image as compared to getting some or like being able to go like, oh, you know, this guy that we train with, this guy feels like this. You know what I mean? Like this is the closest to what we have to what's going to be in there. So you could expect like this type of, you know what I mean, feeling when you're grappling, when you're striking, whatever it may be. And it like makes it easier to like kind of 3D visualize the scenarios they're going to happen in the fight, obviously. Yeah. Makes it a lot easier to prep.
I'm fortunate. I speak to a lot of fighters, and I feel like, at least with the most of the people I've spoken to, they don't really care for studying footage. They kind of say, well, it's something that I let my coaches do and kind of deal with. Why do you study so much footage, and what do you feel you get out of it?
Um, oh man, I don't know. I think that a lot of people are really fucking misguided in the way that they approach the sport. Um, and I think that the reason a lot of people are kind of getting away with what they're getting away with more often than not is because, like, sociologically, everybody's doing it. It's like if everyone's fucking wading in the mud, like, there's obviously going to be a fucking winner somewhere. You know what I mean? But like I don't know, like literally anything else in life. Like you're thinking about your career path, you're thinking about relationships with people and fucking whatever it may be. Like if for some weird fucking reason we don't apply like critical thinking and self-awareness to this sport when we would any other facet of life. And yeah, no, I don't know. That's fucking all well and good for me because there's got to be people that aren't thinking to be losers for there to be winners. So
I've seen you fight before. This is the first time you and I are speaking, but I've seen you fight before. I've spoken to people who have trained with you or seen you fight, and they talk about how good you are essentially, and I think stuff like that kind of goes to show that. But you kind of mentioned it earlier. But what are your goals in this sport?
oh, the UFC and the UFC middleweight champion. Yeah. Well, like what's the point otherwise? You know? Fucking like if you're getting into a sport where like getting any of the financial benefit is oh, there we go. Is like top end heavy. Okay, we're about to slip there we go. We got it. Yeah, if you're getting into like a profession where like all of the financial gain is like top end heavy, um, why would you aim for anything less? You know what I mean? Like it'd be fucking foolhardy to get into a sport like this where like not even including the fact that you can just lose and like waste the time that you've spent doing the sport, you'll accrue a bunch of damage physiologically in the process. And then when you go into your like secondary thing, whatever that may be after the fact, like you're carrying all of that into it as well. You know what I mean? Like you're setting yourself up for failure in the thing that you're doing next. Like that's just fucking stupid. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like if I'm going to do something, whatever it may be, like I'm going to be the best at it. And it's just kind of like really cool that in this sport, like the what would the word be? But like the gains are multiplicative. Like when you get a dub here, it's fucking extrapolates into like massive, massive things later on. It's not just like you climbing the corporate ladder, you know what I mean? And just end up with fucking 100K a year doing, just menial shit that you don't fucking really enjoy or anything like that. Like, man, I get to be healthy and fucking outplay people for a living. Like, how sick is that? And then make millions of dollars in the process soon enough. Yeah.
As I mentioned just before, I'm fortunate I talk to a lot of fighters, and I mean this with respect to every other person I've interviewed. You don't speak like a fighter typically would, and that's not to say in a good way or a bad way, but I don't know. I feel like you approach it a little bit differently to how I've heard some other people approach it, or at least talk about it. If you weren't fighting, what do you think you'd be doing? You just mentioned there, what I could be making 100,000 a year doing something I don't really like. What would you be doing if it wasn't this?
Fuck, man. I honestly have gone back and forth over this type of stuff over the years, like so much. But I honestly, the two things that come to mind, like that were always like childhood things, were one, I wanted to like storyboard for video games, and then the other thing was architecture. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of like with where I'm at right now and like the people that are getting involved in my life, I don't know. I feel like it's not really a matter of I have to choose this or that. Like I kind of feel like it's getting to the point where I could do all of this and then whatever I wanted on top as well. Or like have like a perspective, like multiple other careers, like once it's all said and done. I feel like if you just, spend your time wisely, you can really do a lot.
Can you draw?
Nah, fuck no. Bro, that's the tapped part, eh? I was just a kid playing video games and I'm like, yeah, bro, this would be fucking sick. Nah, but it's just the storytelling part of it all. When you be playing video games and they make you feel things when you're fucking like 10 years old, it's like, holy shit, cunt, that's hectic. Yeah.
What's your favorite video game?
Oh fuck, that's a hard one, eh? Um, um oh damn. I'm remiss right now.
I'll put him on the spot.
Yeah, holy shit.
Fake gamer alert.
Yeah. Oh, bro, dead set. I haven't fucking played because I've been taking this shit so much more seriously. A game since fucking Elden Ring came out.
Bro,
Yeah.
can't name one video game.
Bro, I'd probably say like, okay. Yeah, I was thinking like franchise shit, but like I feel like that's kind of a cop out, you know what I mean? Instead of a single one. I was gonna say like fucking Assassin's Creed multiplayer when that first came out was fucking tapped. I was like ranked 13 on the leaderboards in fucking like the Southern Hemisphere for a bit on that. That was like my fucking thing. And yeah, I don't know. Fuck. I'm trying to like this is so fucked. Pull up my Steam library and I'll tell you. I fucking put, okay, actually, let's put this out there. I put way too many hours into Dota.
Ooh.
Like, bro, like I'm fucking, oh, well, I'll just say, I was about to be like, I'm weirdly embarrassed. Like in total, like 8,000 hours. Fucking, yeah, like that was my thing, clearly based on the fucking hours spent. Yeah, that shit was mad. Playing with like two of my best mates, and fucking, I used to play with the fucking number one player in the world, Anathan Fan. If you've ever like looked at Dota or anything like that, this young cunt, who fucking me and my mate like pushed him to fucking fully take that up full time. And now he makes like tens of millions playing that fucking game. Yeah.
How did you meet him?
That was long-winded.
No, it's fine.
He literally just playing the game. Yeah. Fucking my mate Moses, he was like fully into it and like hit him up on the forums, like went in down in the weeds and they met up and then fucking we just played together. Yeah.
Is this Dota or Dota 2?
Dota 2. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I'm not old enough for that.
Well, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I missed that. I'm not good at any of those games, so I just stick to the single player stuff.
Yeah. What's your favorite game?
BioShock Infinite.
Oh, okay. I'm not. Yeah, no. Oh, like it's good. It's a fucking awesome game.
All right, cool. Guess I made the wrong
100%.
choice. What was that reaction?
No, I was going to be like, bro, if you're gonna go BioShock, I would 100% say one. I don't know, some got when they added all the little fucking like weird like summoning portal reality things into the gunfighting, I was like, this feels like it's taking away more than it's adding.
I played Infinite before I played the first one.
Oh, okay. Nah,
So,
that makes
so
sense.
that
Have you
like
played the first one?
Yes, I played all of them. The second one's not good. I don't like the second one.
Yeah, fully. Bang on.
the
Yeah,
second
you
one, it starts.
And I'm like, spoilers for Bioshock 2. I'm like, oh, it'll be like a divorce. And at the end, they're like, it turns out they were married. And I'm like, I saw that coming at the start. What do you mean?
actually, yeah. We didn't even need exposition. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like a divorce thing. I get it, dude. I get enough of that in my real life. I play video games to escape my reality.
Yes.
But you're fighting in the main event against a man who has fought for this title before. Sorry, not to just go back to fighting. I have to talk about work. Ew. How is that? You're fighting a guy who has been here before. I know you fought for titles before, won titles before, but you're fighting a guy who has a lot of experience and has been he's done this dance before. He's fought for this title many a time. How do you go with kind of like dealing with someone who has got that level of experience?
Man, like he has that experience. I would kind of come under the assumption that like all that's like get like giving to you is that maybe if you were to separate it between like status anxiety and performance anxiety, like he's going to have less performance anxiety, you know what I mean? Because he's like obviously been in the arena and experienced like the heights of that intensity and all of that, you know what I mean? There's nothing I can do to lessen or lessen his like experience relative to the situation or increase mine, you know what I mean? I've just got to go in there and feel it for the first time and act accordingly. Yeah.
I think in the past you've kind of spoken about those kind of anxieties. How do you go about with dealing with them?
Um as of these past few years, fucking excellently. I feel like it's more just a matter of this is how it's been for me at least. Everybody's got like a different puzzle to solve, but uh anything that I had was pretty much just related to like not being congruent with how I thought I should be acting, like whether it be in training, recovery, fucking personal relationships, all of that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And that's why I made like the changes that I did over these past few years with gyms and the people that I surround myself with and people that I train with and the way that I train and all of that jazz. Um, and everything's just kind of been falling into place as it's been going along. Uh, and as time gone on, that's kind of a lot of that is just like washed away. You know what I mean? Yeah.
you say there.
Yeah, it's the kind of the people you surround yourself with, and that is it. I don't mean to say is it as simple as that because obviously those are huge steps for a professional athlete to be like I'm going to change essentially the culture that surrounds me is obviously a huge deal. But was it an instant change, or has it been something that's been kind of compounding over years?
Uh, do you mean relative to the like current change in training situation with gyms, or do you mean like over the long arc of my career?
Uh,
Kind of up for interpretation, but I just mean like, yeah, the moment you may necessarily maybe you change where you're training at, or you decide you're going to recover in a different way, or those things you kind of talked about. Is it like day and night? Is it like, oh, okay, now it's gone.
As in like with the like any anxiolytic stuff that's related to that?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. As fucked as that is, because at the end of the day, it's like I've pretty much since like maybe the like first 2 years into training, like kind of had a pretty good idea where I was like, I think this is how like world class athletes should get shit done. Um, but when you're in a position where you like have no money, have no like position in a hierarchy, you're a fucking child, so you like really can't command respect in any way, and like not that it's for like, oh, do this, do that, but like, oh, my opinions don't even matter, that type of shit. uh it's like really hard to steer the ship to where you think it should go when everybody's sitting there going like, bro, you're a fucking ignorant kid in a sport that's like sociologically filled with fucking like just enforceful meatheads. Like it's yeah, kind of hard to get to where you need to go.
And was it kind of like just environmental stuff, and that helped the change? Like, did you end up having to go to like a sports psych or anything?
Nah, I never really did. I never did any of the sports psych stuff. Um, I feel like that's icing on the cake. You know what I mean? Like where I was at was like negative to neutral, and then neutral to positive is when you get the sports psych. You know what I mean? I feel like everything that was like a logistical change in my life was something that like it's binary. You know what I mean? It's like I can just change this to that, and then I'm like, well, I fucking know that's good now. You know what I mean? And then you'll like gain confidence through that. But as of late, uh, the big things have been like kind of repairing relationships with people like outside of training, like the thing, people and things that kind of like correlate to like my identity and like how I relate to the sport and the people around me. Um, and yeah, there's like a few key people that I've like sorted my shit out with that, and it's kind of like weirdly unfolding as time is going on, and just everything's fucking falling into place, really. Yeah.
I'm very
Very happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that things are kind of falling into place, that things are on an upwards trajectory. If we can talk about who are kind of some of those people.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking dead set, just like my my like immediate family. My mum, dad, brother, sister. Um, there's a few other people that I needed to. They're all like hard conversations, but yeah, a few other people that I just had to kind of like completely cut out of my life that were I considered like my best friends. Um, and people I had to like have conversations with to like not reconcile with, but like just leave like loose threads tied. You know what I mean? Yeah, just stuff like that. Like I'm very like this kind of like interpersonal relationship stuff kind of did whatever, you know what I mean? So like if I've ever like wronged anyone or like mistreated anyone in any way that's like really important to me, it'll fucking stick with me. And yeah, those are the types of things that like when they're all sorted out, it's like fuck, all right, now I know that alongside all of the stuff with training and shit like that, the people that are by my side are who they should be, and I'm good with them. You know what I mean? Like they're your fucking team. So like, yeah, when that's good and that's good, everything's good.
I'm very happy to hear.
Hear that. Uh, that support network for a fighter can be like so important because I talked, as I mentioned, I talk to fighters and they talk about everyone's your best friend when you're winning. And if then things go wrong, you have a bad day at the office, you need those kind of people who are there. I know you just talked about, things are on the up and stuff. But was there a period of time where maybe there was, like using the family as an example, like was there a period of time where you necessarily weren't talking to maybe your parents or
The siblings.
Yeah, nah, that was like, yes, bro. Like literally since I started MMA.
How do you go
about what was that period of time like, and how do you go about navigating that? Because as someone, admittedly, I'm not a fighter. I don't know what it takes, but like that seems so daunting and such like a scary task. What was that period of time like?
It was kind of just like I started MMA when I was 15. Like I was a fucking child. And despite like any level of like self-awareness that I had then, there's a massive difference between like being aware of your problems and being able to act on them. You know what I mean? Even being aware of your problems and then like having the emotional stability to be able to act on them. That was kind of what it was for me for the longest time. Like I was knew these problems were problems, but like when I was younger, sitting there going like, yeah, bro, but I'm too fucking angry or I'm too like jealous or too like anxiety ridden to like have these hard conversations. Whereas like it's got to the point now where it's like those kind of weren't really in the way anymore. And it's just like, all right, well, I just need to have the hard conversation. This is like gonna be fucking weird, but like this is what a fucking real man does. Um yeah, just kind of like, yeah, removing those emotional blockades along the way. But fuck man, like the main thing more than anything was just having MMA as the cornerstone the whole time. Like if I wasn't training and didn't like have that in my life, like despite the fact that it was kind of the cause a lot of these problems, like um yeah, it wouldn't have been okay, you know? Yeah.
Last question on this, and then we'll jump onto some other stuff. But I've spoken to uh gentlemen, the two people that come to mind when you talk about this. I've had this conversation with two men by the names of Jake Matthews and Alex Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski had a very kind of public and recent example of it after the second Islam fight. He said like, when I wasn't fighting, I just kind of didn't know what to do with myself.
Mm.
Uh, and I spoke to him about what it was like to kind of get, essentially find an identity outside of a fighter. And fighting is such an identity for people. Uh, to kind of work on those relationships and find who Darcy Vendy is maybe outside of training. How has that been?
Like I kind of feel like I always have known who I am outside of training. Like my closest friends and family, like, yeah, they know who I am. Um, I'd probably say the biggest part of that equation was just like the weight that I'd put on everything and therefore on myself. Um, just being like, man, I've fucking been doing this for so many years and I'm so fucking good at it. Like it would be such a, yeah, just such a fucking, what's the term? Just such a waste anyway to have done all of this and then to not put it forth into the world and be able to actualize it for like all of the people that have helped me along the way, believed in me as like it's all gone along. Um, and then see me get to where they know I can be at like the middleweight champion. Yeah.
Now talking about a different fight that didn't happen, and maybe a moment of, damn, I put all that work in and it didn't happen. But you were booked to fight on XFC to fight Stu Dare, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, my memory serves me right. I just got to make sure, because it feels like that got announced ages ago, and then it just kind of fizzled out. What happened with that?
Pretty much like I'm not gonna, yeah, I can't like speak for anyone else really. Look, I can only speak for myself, but uh as the fight was drawing closer, like something happened with the promoter and he just said like for personal reasons that he couldn't continue the show. That was the text that we all got. That is what it is. Yeah, whatever his situation was at the time, like I'm just sure it was warranted. Uh, and then we tried to rebook it for a week later. I think it was like 2 weeks out that they canned it, XFC. And then yeah, we tried to book it for a week later on Hex, considering that Stu had already fought on there before. Um, and we were like, yeah, we'll sort flights, all that shit doesn't matter, fucking whatever. We just want to get the fight in, and that it just didn't. Yeah, it just didn't fabricate for whatever reason. Again, like I don't know what his situation is, but we just didn't really. Yeah, it just didn't happen.
Is that frustrating when you've put all that work in and then you don't get an opportunity to fight?
Like yeah, to a degree, but at the end of the day, man, fucking like, I find that like a lot of the value, like, yeah, obviously getting in there on the night and getting the experience of being under the lights and having all of the crowd screaming at you and shit like that is like it's invaluable. But like, let's be real, the large majority of the benefit is gained in the fucking 2 months before of preparation for the long arc of your career. Uh, yeah, as long as you're ready to get in there and like get to business and perform the way you know you can, just doesn't really matter that much.
You hold the title in XFC, and I don't know if it was just a poster thing, but if my memory serves me correctly, that fight wasn't going to be for the title. Why wasn't that booked for the title?
Wait, the one with Stu Dare?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. Oh, fuck. I don't know, can't. This is just like another fucking when we were trying to make it all happen. Yeah, we were just like, all right, well, clearly he's got the fucking title, so let's fight for the title. And then this is I just don't want to fucking like speak for somebody else. But yeah, for whatever reason was happening with his situation, he wasn't fully keen to do 5-5s. Again, fucking that's I don't know what's going on. That's for him to tell you, not for me. But yeah, same thing. It just didn't happen. So
All right. Um, two last questions. When booking this, I reached out through socials, and you're not a big social media guy. I was just wondering if there's any reason for that.
oh man. Okay, well, actually, I shouldn't retroactively say that now. Fuck, the moment's passed. No,
Say it. Say it.
like, bro, I just reckon that. Okay, what I will say, like, principally, is like, you know how there was fucking the whole like obesity epidemic, like that whole fucking thing a while ago,
Kind
maybe
of,
like
yes.
in the 20, yeah, like the 2010s and shit like that. That
Mm.
was like a big thing. But I reckon, and that, as far as I can tell, was kind of like in like correlated to like fast food becoming super fucking prominent and readily available. Like, as
Mm.
that started like building up, bro, I reckon we're just having the exact same fucking thing, but it's like the dopamine epidemic with like social media and short form content and all that kind of shit. And like we're just fucking frying cunts' brains. And yeah, instances of like ADD and all of that are going up, and it's like, bro, we're fuck. I don't know. I feel like the lines are getting. I'm sure all of that is on a spectrum and all of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like I feel the lines are getting very blurred, and people are just kind of like ruining the fucking base form of their brain a lot. But that is what it is. Why I don't do it is because I feel that when I'm not using social media and the like, that and one, you don't get caught up in fucking drama bullshit. I don't know where all of this fucking talk about me hating John Fraser and shit like that came from, but people are going to say whatever the fuck they're going to say. I think the guy is has a fucking wife and children and is trying to put himself in a position financially where he can support them. You know what I mean? Like, and then the same for me. It's like I've got a fucking goal and he's a like blockade along the way. Like, we're just gonna do what we're gonna do. Yeah, I don't know. We're trying to do what's best for both of our careers. Uh but yeah, like I just feel like when I'm not using all of that shit, uh I'm just able to be happy with less. You know what I mean? Feel like the dopamine neurons are resensitized and I can fucking do what I do every morning and not listen to a fucking podcast when I go out to the curb and eat my fucking oats on the side of the curb and like just have the sun shining on me. You know what I mean? Like I can, yeah, that's fucking good enough. I don't need to throw in some other fucking bullshit and keep myself stimulated the whole time because, yeah.
Bro doesn't want the constant stimuli.
Nah, no, like it's fuck, man. Like, and that's the thing I feel as well. It's like you to a certain level, like almost have to these days, like depending on what your job is and shit like that. But like if you almost like have the luxury, like I do, of being able to, um, just like be like, oh, I'm not a social media manager or or uh whatever it may be, where that's just like a part of your fucking existence and you can't separate yourself from it. Like in those scenarios, it's like, yeah, well, look, you've just got to find a way to function where like Maybe you can only maybe your baseline is not doing one thing at a time. When you read a book, you have to listen to music. When you're fucking cooking, you have to put a TV on, like that kind of shit. And like that's the only way you can function. And then I feel like with a lot of people, especially fighters in particular, that shit scales up. They get a win and they fucking get on the gas and they get on the fucking beers and they get the women involved and they get the fucking food involved and they have the high of the pro social activity and all of this shit. They fucking redo that cunt 6 times in a row, and before you know it, they've like got a fucking ruined brain, and then they only feel like they can show up to training to do hard sparring and hard wrestling. Hitting pads isn't enough anymore. Like, yeah. I went on a tangent, but that's fucking That's for
No.
No, please. That's people are more interested in hearing you talk than they are me.
Bro,
Eats without YouTube. I'm blown away.
Bro,
that's
a fucking hard one. I'm telling you.
How does he dinner without YouTube? I don't know how you do it.
That's the fucking breakfast is pretty much the only one that gets it, eh? Fucking like when it's I don't know. When it gets to dinner, man, like it's fucking tapped. And when I'm eating lunch, I eat it at the gym, so all the boys are around, and it's like, the pro social is the fucking YouTube, so it's like whatever. But at least that's better than like fucking me sitting there going like, yeah, bro, let's watch like a little fucking. I don't even like watch MMA anymore. I'll watch like video game highlight fucking shit like while I'm like eating.
Video game essay.
Yeah, it's right. This is my guy.
Tell me, I want to watch a 6-hour video on Far Cry 3.
Yes, cunt. Yeah.
I don't care that I played it. I want to know everything about it.
Actually, dude. Oh, cunt. Fuck yeah, I can't wait to do more interviews with you, dude. You're definitely my guy.
And I will point it out because I think it's hilarious. As you just said there, you said social media manager and looked over to the side. While
you were doing that little answer there, you did tag me on something on social media. So you're like, social media is bad. And I got a notification. It's like Darcy Vendy has tagged you on social media. Last one from me, actually, second last one.
You kind of mentioned it there with the opportunity. You were maybe going to go over and still do the Stu Dare fight, but that didn't work out. The two, I would say the two biggest companies, and especially the two biggest active companies in Australia right now, do not have a middleweight champion. So there isn't a clear number one guy. There isn't like you can point to someone and be like, he's the one. Darcy Vendy, do you feel you are the number one middleweight in Australia?
Yeah, 100%.
No, there we go. That was easy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's like, no, okay. Yeah, that was weird.
No, that's fine.
Almost made it implied that you were asking a stupid question. That was not what I.
That's fine. Listen, bro, you answer as truthfully as you want. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Fucking, I've done all the work, and John Martin Fraser's the guy. You know, anybody that thinks otherwise would be fucking foolhardy. Yeah, and I know that I can beat him, and when that happens, like, what the fuck is everyone else going to think? Oh, Joe Blow at the fucking number 6 of the rankings is going to beat this cunt. No, he's not. Like, I'll stay here at the top and fucking flog every cunt that's on the way up, and you will make that point proven. Yeah.
So, but as it stands, as the date of recording this, pre-fight, do you think John Martin Fraser is the guy to be number one?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it'd be stupid to think so. And the guy that was, he already beat him.
And now, finally, for me, Darcy, I thank you so much for the time. It is a real pleasure to speak to you. Hopefully, we get to do this again. You said there that fighters, the double stimuli can go off the rails. A victory, becoming the new champion. How will you celebrate when you go and celebrate?
Man, I'm not going to be getting on the fucking piss. I'm not going to be doing any of that bullshit because that's for fucking fools. It's going to be soup time, brother.
What type of soup?
We'll leave that to another time. It'll be soup time, though.
Darcy Vendy, I thank you so much for the time. I hope you get a good haircut. I hope what you said, the weight cut isn't really a weight cut, but I hope whatever weight you do cut, I hope it goes well. Best of luck in the fight, and I will see you on the other side.
Before I go,
Yes, please.
my sponsors, please.
Please do. Please. The floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you. For one, just fucking greatly appreciate everybody that's helped me along the way, like family and friends and all of that jazz. But I also wanted to thank some of my sponsors because they have pretty much made this process far and away the easiest fucking camp that I've ever had in my life. And without them, like, man, shit could be different. I don't think it would have been, but fuck. These guys definitely help. Cadence Cafe, CKM Logistics, Home DIY Kits, Breathe Ease, SPG Lawyers, AAA Excavations and Haulage, Sultan's Middle Eastern Grill, and then our YouTube channel, Time to Invest. They're just, cannot thank these people enough. They're fucking, invaluable.
Is Breathe Ease like the tape stuff?
Yeah.
What is that?
They're just like little nasal strips, but they effectively like do these ones, give you the fucking little pig nose, and like just dilate your nostril. Yeah.
And it works?
Every single, fucking oath it works, bro. That's literally the difference between me using those and not, according to my aura. And I swear I've like fucking like, what's the thing? Like I've like control grouped this, like, it's like an extra 30 minutes of REM sleep for me, like every night. Yeah, I'll go from like an hour to an hour and 30 between like using them and not using them. Yeah, they're fucking good.
I assume Aura is an app and not just like your vibe. Put into my vibe, I get 30 minutes more sleep.
Aura Ring. Yeah, this one.
No, not the old, my Aura is significantly higher once I use
can't
the
you just
strip.
tell I'm fucking glowing right now?
Yeah, actually. Well, I haven't spoken to you not using the strip, so I don't know.
Yeah, sure, actually.
The baseline
we needed the control group.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, I don't show people the control group when I wake up fucked up.
Yeah.
That doesn't go on the internet.
Actually,
Darcy, I thank you so much for the time. It's a pleasure to speak to you. Best of luck in the fight, my friend. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate yours. Until then.